For getting reliable, knowledgeable major news articles about Saudi Arabia, Middle East and around the world, subscribe our channel Star Tucson and don't forget to click on bell. UAE Prime Minister and owner of Dubai Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid raises the stakes to stop foreigners from leaving Dubai, and try to get edge over neighboring countries Saudi Arabia, Qatar. Foreigners can soon fully own companies anywhere in country. Gulf Arab neighbors stepped up efforts to entice investors. The United Arab Emirates is taking its most drastic steps yet to stop Saudi Arabia or Qatar from encroaching on its lead in attracting foreign investors. In an unprecedented departure in policy, the UAE will soon allow foreigners to fully own their businesses in Dubai or Abu Dhabi without a local partner. In some cases, professionals will even be entitled to 10-year residency permits. More than anything, the country's decision shows how the economic interests of the 6 oil-producing Gulf Cooperation Council are diverging as crude's dominance wanes. To survive a global shift away from fossil fuels, they'll not only need money and talent, but they'll also have to compete with each other to get it. The UAE needs to keep pace or stay ahead if it doesn't want to lose its competitive advantage, said Qatai Jahak, the head of Middle East and North Africa research at Emirates and BDPJSC, Dubai's biggest bank. When oil was at $100 a barrel for several years, there wasn't that much need to attract foreign investment. Clearly that has changed. For a long time the UAE resisted giving the foreigners who dominate the workforce too much clout. Restrictive visa rules meant skilled workers could only stay in the country if they were employed. Unless their businesses were in free zones like the Dubai International Financial Center, they'd need a local partner to hold 51%. That strategy has worked because Dubai, with its 8-lane highways, seaside skyscrapers, giant malls and attractions like an indoor ski slope and water parks, was the Gulf city of choice among expatriates. But with living costs in the Emirate climbing, places like Doha, the Qatari capital, and Manama, Bahrain have become more appealing in recent years. Home prices in Dubai, where foreigners outnumber Emirates about 10 to 1, have been falling. Retail space in the city of 3 million people is also set to surge, meaning money from abroad will be needed to ensure they aren't left vacant. That could get a lot harder. Last August, Qatar, which has plowed billions into infrastructure to prepare for the 2022 FIFA World Cup, said it planned to grant some foreigners the right to remain indefinitely as it seeks to cope with the year-long embargo on the country by its neighbors. Bahrain has allowed full foreign ownership of businesses for 2 years. Amazon Web Services picked it for its first ever data center in the Middle East. Even Saudi Arabia is upping its game. The biggest Gulf economy has been on the radar of foreigners since Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman unveiled a transformation plan 2 years ago that includes selling a stake in state oil giant Aramco. The kingdom has lifted restrictions on foreigners owning stocks and its exchange is likely to soon be part of the MSCI Emerging Markets Index, which could trigger huge inflows. Goldman Sachs Group Incorporated plans to deploy its own money in the country for the first time. More than the money, the Gulf states are competing for human capital, global businesses and industry leaders, said Imar Ragu, the head of research at Kuwait Financial Center SAC, which manages more than $3 billion. We expect other Gulf economies to introduce such measures in a phased manner. Under the new UAE rules, which take effect by year-end, non-Emirates can control 100% of a company anywhere in the country, foregoing the requirement to have a local partner outside of free zones. Professionals working in medical, scientific, research and technical fields and top students could be eligible for residency permits of up to 10 years. Explaining the local ownership structure has also always been a nuisance when raising money from international or even regional investors into businesses that had mainland operations in the UAE, said Galdoon Tabaza, the founder of investment company INA, which invests in several UAE and regional tech startups. The new framework reduces the cost of doing business in and out of the UAE. While the Federation of 7 Emirates holds the lead in attracting investors in the Gulf, Foreign direct investment dropped to almost $9 billion in 2016 from a peak of $14.2 billion in 2007, according to United Nations data. Some 12.9% of stocks traded in Dubai are owned by foreign funds, compared with 6.5% in Qatar and 5% in Saudi Arabia, according to exchange data compiled by the research arm of EFG Hermes Holding. Yet compare that to Turkey, where foreigners own nearly 64% shares, or Brazil, where they held close to 50%, and it's clear that foreigners are still wary of overinvesting in the Gulf's absolute monarchies, which adds to the pressure Gulf states are under to stay competitive. Most of them have been funding big budget deficits since oil collapsed in 2014 and economic growth is lagging the average for emerging markets. This will give the UAE a stronger edge compared with the region, said Nabi Al-Rantaizi, managing director at Daman Investments in Dubai. The neighboring countries still have a long way to go in developing their infrastructure. For getting reliable, knowledgeable major news articles about Saudi Arabia, Middle East and around the world, subscribe our channel Star Tucson and don't forget to click on bell. It's free. Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe our channel Star Tucson for future video and make sure to click on bell too.